and commerce is just gigantic. But I don't know if that's in there.
All right, welcome everybody. I'd like to call to order the Energy Awareness Commission meeting for May 14th, 2024. First item on the agenda is the meeting minutes from our March meeting. Any questions or discussion?
I move approval of the minutes of the March 2024 Energy Awareness Commission.
I'll second.
Okay, have a motion and second to approve the meeting minutes from our March 2024 meeting. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is item 2.1. This is our energy service reports for April of 2024. Derek, whenever you're ready.
As usual, attached are, I think this time around I did a year-to-year comparison of how the programs are performing, how much has been rebated for the particular month, and then from the year to the month. So that's as an attachment on the agenda, along with just some tasks that were completed in my office this past couple months. Total of the rebates since the beginning of the year till now that we've rebated, and the savings that each of those programs have captured from rebating back to customers. And then just in the overview, I just put some highlights of just what we're doing with some SIP funds and what we're doing, within the utility. Something to note, we have, as of now, we actually have, I think it's 4 or 5 customers that have signed up for the residential Clear Energy Solutions program. That's where they can purchase renewable energy certificates. So since I did the agenda item, we've had 1 for sure, if not 2 additional community members that have signed up for that. Of course, the Home and Health Show was a success. We gave a lot of bags, and a lot of people stopped by to talk about energy audits and also the lens service line. Regarding the Green Step Cities, at least once, once a year, I want to try to highlight Green Step Cities and the best practices that we've completed already, and just to put in there again, community members or entities within the community that want to be involved in that they should contact myself or any Energy Awareness Commission member. So I think that's important, just to let you know that we are outside of the Energy Awareness Commission trying to get the community the message out there to let them know, hey, let us know what you've been doing, or take a look at it. There's something within that program that you've done that maybe we could use and capture and report to the Green Step Cities coordinator. And then Arbor Day, if you notice in the newsletter, I purchased a gift certificate that our customers can get a chance to get their name drawn for and purchase. Maybe it was, I think, a $250 gift certificate. So depending on what the person wants, they can get 1 good tree or a couple trees, or what they wish, really, and then they can purchase what they want. But it's meant for them to purchase a tree. So, any questions regarding the admin report for this month?
What is the Frontier Energy Update funding meeting?
Oh, the
Real task.
our purchase power supplier has hired, which is Heartland Energy out of South Dakota, hired Frontier Energy, which actually is a Minnesota-based engineering firm, and they do lots of other things. And I work with them with other projects just here at this utility. And they are really watching a lot of the possibility of grants and loans that are coming through the state level and federal level. And for anybody that's a Heartland Energy, gets power from them one way or another, can sit through these meetings and get updates from them on whatever it may be. So I and, at least 2 other people at the utility have been sitting through those. They're usually bi-weekly. So, yeah, that's what that is.
And then, this is just for my own edification. I just bought a new energy efficient air conditioning unit, and the entity from whom I purchased it submits to get the rebate and then passes it on with a lower bill to me. So would that be called central air install, or
What did you,
it's a high-low? It's one of those
is it a heat
cooling
pump?
units.
Is it a mini split?
Yes, mini split.
Yeah, what they'll do if it qualifies is, I mean, depends who you went through, but a majority of them, good portion, will submit that on your behalf.
He did. I mean, that was the
Yeah,
requirement from me.
and that will be a check issued to you. It won't be coming off your bill from them or off the utility bill.
And then on this list, where would the mini split, would that be?
It'd be under, well, if it's a heat pump or a mini split, if it's a cold, one or the other, it'd be under the AC install.
Okay,
Yeah, central air conditioning rebate.
thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions or discussion? Otherwise, I'd be looking for a motion to approve the report.
Second,
We have a motion and second to approve the ESR admin report for 2024. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 2.2 is the comparison for the CIP yearly reports 2022.
So yeah, it's 2024, but this is on reporting for 2022. And that's correct. It seems weird to think we should be talking about 2023 programs, but when programs get reported to Department of Commerce, it's usually kind of close to the middle of a year. Usually it's June 1st. But I just received an email this afternoon about 3 to 3:30 that due to how they want us to report it, they're getting, the Commerce is getting a new software for utilities to report through. So they actually won't be pushed, it'll be pushed back till, they're hoping till August 1st or later in August even. So by the time or any utility reports it in like June 1st, they have all these utilities to go through. And by the time they get through it all, it's into the middle of the next year, which is why we're talking about 2022 now, is because I received this maybe a couple weeks ago for the 2022 programs. Generally, we have an idea if it's been approved or not because it generates letters or a letter if you're only a electric utility, or only a letter for gas if you're only a gas utility. We're both, so we get letters for both. And it's kind of a pre-populated generic, letter saying if it was approved or not. So we kind of already knew it was, but this is the official letter that we received. So in the summary of results, under the overview, this is just the electric portion of our programs. And this is directly taken from the report. So it just shows whether or not a utility, in this case, New York Public Utilities, have met the criteria of the state statutes. The most important is the energy savings goal. That's what they're focusing on the most. Spending goal, we were close. We didn't technically get to what we were meant to spend, but that's between the spending and the saving. It is also who and how many of those who's are submitting rebates or talking with the utility, or the utility talking with those customers. So let's see. On the next page would be gas. In the main report, it says that we're required to offer programs. That's just kind of generically in there. They make kind of like in an email to the utility a little asterisk where we weren't required to. So not meeting the goal wasn't as big of a deal because we weren't required to actually offer programs during this 2022 year. So, but with the programs that we did offer, the money that we spent, you can see the Decatherm savings of $5,872 and the money that we spent, $79,000, so. But that's the most important probably information out of, both of the actual reports that are in the agenda item. So I don't know if anyone had time to look through, take a glance at it. Additionally, in the reports, we have to come up with a plan for like 2 years out. So in this report, what I also reported was programs for 2024, which was approved. So that's also in here, in the main report. And a lot of the information in there is just, it talks about state statutes and things like that, so. Any questions regarding the report, if anybody had an opportunity to kind of look at it?
Any other questions or discussion for Derek?
So under this new, well, I guess this would be the first filing under the eco law, huh? So we'll be submitting annually, like 2023's will be submitted by June of 2024, is that correct?
Right. Yeah, so 2023's will be submitted if they wouldn't have gotten this new software by June 1st. So what they're doing now, technically, a utility still has to do that by June 1st. They have to go to the deputy commissioner and get the approval to push it back to August 1st or
Because
August
of the
30th.
software.
Just because they want to have individuals such as myself that do the programs and the reporting, they want to train us in how to use the software because it's new. So, yeah. Yep, correct.
I will make the motion to approve the 2022 CIP yearly reports.
Okay, we have a motion and second to approve the 2022 CIP yearly reports. Any other questions or discussion?
Do they ask if we fell short of the energy savings goal? Do they say, okay, how are you going to meet that in subsequent years?
Going forward, you have, if you don't meet that, like if it's like 2 consecutive years or 3, I don't think it's more than that, then they force you to spend a certain amount of money on top of the savings. Yeah, so there is, repercussions for not meeting the goals.
Do you know if we met the goals in 2023 off the top of your head?
We met the savings goal. Well, for 2023, I don't know.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion? All right. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right. Under new business then, we're going to talk about Green Step Cities again then, and we're looking at best practice 27, dealing with local food.
So I had an individual from Green Step Cities. So within each best practice, there's, if you go online and look at the website, there's always some sort of advisor associated with each best practice and their actions. So the advisor for the local food contacted me and just informed me. Well, and one of it was I had a survey. If would you be interested in this type of help? If you'd be interested in this, and I filled that out. because there was a deadline, and I sent that in. And one of them, I think, was something to do with local food, because I think we've discussed local food a handful of times during our meetings, and before and after, and things like that. So he contacted me just to let me know that he is there and willing to help us work through any of these additional best practices. So this is on the agenda item, just to see if there was anyone on the commission that would want to be the point person if the Energy Awareness Commission wants to proceed further into the local food best practice. We do have this, I believe, completed. We have action 2 and action 3 complete. Action 2 was a 1-star, action 3 was a 2-star. What were there? I thought I saw, or I wrote in here that there was maybe 4 or 5 actions within that best practice. So if there's anything that we want to do more within this best practice or approve upon this best practice. Yep.
I serve on the Farmers Market Committee or Subcommittee of the Chamber,
Yep.
which now is the sponsor of
Right.
the Farmers Market. And one of the things that's happening, we are getting our SNAP card reader. We've gotten 2 different grants, one for advertising, one for kind of public education, which in part will be how to work with the vendors to
Yep.
use SNAP, and we'll also be using Market Bucks. I don't know if that gets us another star under 27.3, but I'm happy to contact him. Does he work for our MDA or does he work for?
Usually the advisors they're associated with the Green Step Cities because they're in some other
Oh,
government form, like it could be something with forest. It could be a forestry person or some other biologist or, with the DNR, with that type of stuff. And there could be somebody with MDOT if it's something to do with roads and erosion or something, or some other nonprofit. So those advisors seem like they're pretty valuable if a person wants to use them. So if you're willing to, if you'd like, I can write back to him and include you in the email and say, you're with Energy Awareness Commission, additionally, yada yada, and
do you have a meeting coming up
Yeah.
next week? So
there could be other ways that he's seen communities do things, especially now that it seems like the farmers market's getting more, it's getting revamped, right? Chambers taking over, and there could be a lot more
Location.
opportunities that are unaware of that this person might be able to help with. Not only just to meet the Green Step Cities things, but just in general, right? So, yeah, and if you'd be willing to do that, that'd be awesome. I
It
can.
would fit with what I'm currently doing. So,
Right, sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
The other thing I should let you know is that our farmers market is one of only 2 in the state that were identified to take part in this marketing effort put on by the National Farmers Market Association. They have funding to test various social media messaging and images and whatnot, and we are just joining the Minnesota Farmers Market Association. So they thought, let's take a newer or farmers market that's in transition. And they thought of us because they knew that we could get the metrics, probably. Some surveying of the vendors and of the customers is required. And they work with, in this case, it will be the person at the chamber who does the social media to actually use the advertising. And then they give us $1,000, for that advertising.
Yeah.
So we really are trying to increase the traffic, increase the number of vendors who are providing local food, and serve more people who are SNAP eligible who have limited income.
Yeah, and I think through Green Steps, sometimes there's money available at times. So this,
All right.
that can be used for things like that. So I think everything you've mentioned, here tonight, through email or phone, discuss with him, and he could easily say, yep, that'll work. You can do this, I think that's part of the, him being this person, the advisors, is to do, that role, be that role.
Okay. Yes, I will do that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or discussion? Otherwise, I would look for a motion to receive and order filed. Okay, I have a motion.
Second.
Okay, have a motion in second to receive and order filed, notification of assistance for best practice 27, local food. And thank you again for being the contact person. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right. Item 4.2, Community Energy Network. Some information from Derek. This was, I believe, if memory serves me right, the information Derek had sent us some links about as
Yeah,
well.
right. I'm
So-
not sure if anybody had a chance to take a look at that. I'm a little familiar with it, but, maybe a little more than people in the commission. I'm not sure. I was, same scenario. I received an email from a different individual regarding this community energy network. It's a peer learning network of other government bodies that are Green Step members. And from what it seems like, because they meet X amount of times a year, and as stated, connects different local government staff with other, peers and partner organizations. They share their practices, lessons learned from things that they've done, a way to develop resources to help the communities that they're in. Looks like they talk about available state and federal funding at times, and I think either a meeting after I received this, I know they've had one kind of get together a meeting, but I can't remember if the next meeting is possibly about state and federal funding also coming up. Yeah, that it just seems like it's a, I don't want to say a think tank, but just, as stated, a learning group. So if there's anyone else or anyone that would want to be involved with this, let me know. You don't have to be an employee of a local government, because I did write back to the individual stating that, we have this Energy Awareness Commission. They've been tasked to kind of be the initial body over the Green Step cities. Can one of our Energy Awareness Commission members who were volunteers be part of this peer group? And they pretty much said, yeah, that would be fantastic. So if someone is interested, or if there's more than one person, I think that probably would be fine too. I can write back to this person, we can connect with them again and kind of go from there. Or if anyone has additional questions regarding it, same thing. We can call them in my office or do it all through email and kind of go from there. And I think it's something where if one or two individuals or whoever isn't getting out of it what they thought, just kind of back out of it. So.
You remember, Derek, do they have a lot of their stuff in person, or is it online?
It seems
or
like the last meeting they had was in person, but I'm not 100% familiar with it. It literally was another additional, same survey as I mentioned with the last agenda item. It seemed kind of interesting. I wanted more information, so I clicked yes. And they sent me an email and kind of am going from there. So.
Well, I'm glad you're participating. I'm interested, but I don't want to do another thing.
Yeah, it seems interesting. I just don't know time commitment wise or
No one
what's
has to do, I
going-
mean, no one
going
here
on,
has to do it. It's whether or
so,
not
but I think
someone
it's-
does,
Yeah.
then they
but
need
I-
to let me know.
Yeah.
No
I
decision
think
needs to be
it's-
made now. That's why there's a
Yeah.
pause. No one has to tell me yes
So-
or no now.
The thing that I like about this is that, like the second bullet, share promising practices and lessons learned between communities. I bet we could learn and I bet we could contribute as well. And then accessing grants and, that would help New Ulm.
Right.
if-
I don't think they're not mandatory things a person has to go to. It's
A
if you
network.
can make it, yeah. And I'm sure there's a mailing list. Maybe there's a summary of, that's could be questions too asked. There's summaries of the meetings, or is it just kind of a get together, kind of free form, loosely talk about, does anybody have type of stuff and you talk about it? I'm not sure. So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd be kind of interested to see a little bit more how it works or that type of thing.
Or if there's
Maybe I
an
could-
upcoming meeting, you could let us know. And if we were free or somebody wanted to
Sure.
sit in just to learn, that might be.
And maybe I could ask too,
appropriate.
maybe it doesn't need to be one single person, maybe. Because there'll be, everyone here has terms, right? So once that's up, somebody else could fill in. Or even if somebody can't go one time, as long as there's that communication within the commission of what's going on, so. Yeah, I'll look into it
I
some more
mean,
too.
Derek, too, I mean, if you want to say I could look into it with you and see, I mean, maybe it's a possibility. If it would work out, I could
Yeah.
take it on for the remainder of my term through this year.
And how many times do they actually meet in a year?
Yeah.
Is it 2 times? Is it every, yeah,
But,
right.
I mean, even if they do like newsletters or something, I can get those and bring information to the commission if there's something in
Right.
there.
Right.
But I mean, I'm willing to do that. I just don't know time commitment wise. But
No, I hear
that's
you.
something.
I hear you. Yeah. Especially
once we
if
too.
everything is going to be in the metro area
Yeah,
for whatever reason, that's kind of
yeah. It just
eh.
makes it harder to.
Right. Yeah, it does.
So, but I mean, yeah. I mean, I'd be interested in it. I just don't. So.
Okay. Well, yeah, this was just a receive and order file, so it's just informative anyways, but we can go from here and
Yeah.
I can send a email to this person and just CC you all, and then if there's any questions, you can always go through me, obviously, but you
Yeah.
can send it directly to them or all, or, So, all right.
Good. Right. Any other questions or discussion? Otherwise, I'd just.
Just real quickly, at the last meeting, I know I had talked about the possibility of the area on Garden Street between Fifth
Oh, right.
and.
Yep.
So I did speak with the city, with Public Works, and they indicated that, yeah, it is a drainage area, even though water only infrequently is actually standing there, like this year, a little
Right.
bit. But most years, you really have to have a lot of snow or a lot of rain for it to be apparent. But he also said that there are many tiles in that area. So he said it is not ideal. In fact, he was like, this is not a good
Yeah.
habitat for pollinator. But he did say, you should talk to Mr. Schugel to see what opportunities there might be with other property within the city, in particular, any other parks, which I haven't done, but
Okay.
I don't know if that came up, Deb, at the league meeting when Joey spoke on Saturday. I don't know if you were there.
Yeah, I was. No, I don't remember anything like that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I will probably give him a call, but I honestly don't have much time to
Yeah.
pursue it. But I'd like to hear from him about whether he's thinking about that or if there are other avenues to pursue. He might be able to direct us to see, because that it would be more of a low-hanging fruit, if you will, or a not as expensive of an undertaking to kind of help us ameliorate climate change and increase pollinator habitat.
He did say that on Saturday that there are places designated up in, I think it was up in the hill, I'm still not used to New Ulm, but I think it's up the hill there where there's new building going on, that they've got park places designated for, I don't know, I don't remember if he said specifically pollinator, but that would be something to ask him.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
So
good.
that basically got taken off my list. I will
Well,
say
I mean, you
did
got
speak-
yeah, I suppose with the tiling and yeah. I could see how it maybe could be a good spot, but then all that time and money and X amount of years, they're gonna want to retile, they're gonna tear it all up, and then,
I
don't know.
have pursued some funding, or pursued, I should say, investigated funding opportunities, and there is a pot of money through NRCS, the Natural Resource Conservation Service. The proposal's due the end of June, and it's expressly to take marginal lands and restore them or add perennials and pollinator habitat. And they're super duper interested in political subdivisions because they would be, it's a 2-year pot of money, but the assumption is if it's with a municipality or a county or another type of political subdivision, that there'd be more of a permanency in the care of the property because it has to be kept in whatever habitat you're restoring it to for 10
Yep.
years. So I was like, oh man, this would be so good. We could apply for it. And
Yeah, and I could, and if you want, I mean, unless someone else here wants, I could send him an email. And then,
I can forward you the
CC.
info on the particular grant program.
Okay,
Because it's like, oh gosh,
yeah,
there's not a match required, which is
Well.
unusual.
yeah,
In fact, that's what really attracted me to it. It's like, whoa, our city could apply and the money to do this would then be there over a couple of years. It's a minimum of 50,000, maximum of $1 million. I don't know how much that stuff would cost. 50,000 to me sounds like a lot but it
yeah. I mean,
depends on-
seed is expensive. I know. I know that from what my wife does. It's expensive stuff. But that's a lot of money, especially when I mean, when you don't need to have a matching funds.
Yeah.
That's, yeah. But what I can do, unless someone else wants to, they certainly can. I can send Joey Schugel, and then probably I'll include John Nisley. Just with the comprehensive plan that's going on, that changes a lot of things, with parks going forward and other areas. And I can't remember, John might have spoke a little bit of it when he was here, or maybe you did. And,
Yeah,
a
there's-
certain percentage maybe they're having as a green space, what that green space needs to be, et cetera, and then say that this was talked about during our most recent meeting, and and if you could give me that link, otherwise I'm sure I could find it.
It's called HELP.
Yeah,
So
that's
Habitat, I don't know the rest of the program is the P.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not NRCS, excuse me, it's Bowser.
Bowser. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
And the person who administers the grant lives in Fairmont. So not that matters, but he was like, oh, we'd love to have somebody like New Ulm, or
Sure.
an entity like New Ulm. But
Yep.
that just motivated me more. And then but I just kind of dropped it. But
Yeah.
we have it's like a June 24th or June 27th deadline. And I don't know that it's super complicated. I don't think it is. The application, that is.
So I'll add to that in a moment, but I think I'm going to finish out the agenda item first. Nope, you're fine. Receive and or filed Community Energy Network reports. So I'll be looking for a motion for that.
I move acceptance of the Community Energy Network report.
Okay. Motion in second. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. But back to what we were just talking about. So we'll go to commissioner comments. Comp plan, I believe I was going to bring it. I printed it and I forgot to bring it, but I believe it's tomorrow night in here is the comp plan public meeting.
So we should
From like
print our own
5
copies.
to 7 is the thing. I don't think they have the full plan out there, but that's the public meeting information with that. And I can double check and send it to Derek and he can send it out tomorrow right away, or I can forward it, see if it'll let me forward it to everybody here. Because I did look at it and then got distracted and forgot to bring it, but I believe that's tomorrow night. So, and I do believe as part of that, they're trying to figure out park stuff. So, yeah, it probably would be a good time to
Here in-
bring.
in City
I
Hall,
think it was in
think so.
here in the city hall, yeah. I can probably, when we get done, I'll pull up my phone once too quick, but, to double check myself. But yeah, so I mean, that would be a good opportunity time to, if they have something that they're thinking of, maybe that grant would work well with that, so.
Didn't put it down where it's at.
So, otherwise, any other commissioner comments or anything else? Okay. Otherwise, I'd be looking for a motion to adjourn.
I so move.
A motion, do you have a second?
Second.
Okay, motion in second, and we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.